Hi everyone. I'd like to welcome you again to my channel, Tech Talk with Baba Femi. Like I've actually promised, in this series, we're going to start from the beginning. And the first task is setting up an Azure DevOps organization, which is what we'll be looking at today. So we'll be looking at how to create an Azure DevOps organization. We'll be looking at how you can actually manage the Azure DevOps organization. Manage in the sense that how do we add users to our project? How do we create project? How do we delete the DevOps organization if there is no need for it anymore? How do we even connect this DevOps organization to the Enter ID, which is popularly known as Azure AD? So let's go to the portal and see how we can do all this. Browser, you need to visit the dev.azure.com. That's going to bring you back to this page I was sharing the other time. Now, when you want to create your Azure DevOps organization, you can only do this if you have a Microsoft account or you have a work or school account, which we call the Enter ID account created in the Azure portal, or you have a GitHub account. Those are the accounts that are necessary or you can use to create your Azure DevOps organization. So I'm not going to pick the GitHub account. I'm going to pick the start free. And let's see, this is going to take me to a page where I need to sign in. Let's even say I do not have a Microsoft account and I want to create one. So what I can do is to click on the create one. But I currently have a Microsoft account and that's what I want to sign in with. So I'm going to type Femi. Let's look at look. So this is going to tell me now authenticate by putting in your password. So now, yes. So continue. Now this has taken me to a different page where I need to put in some information. Now the first in is the region or the country. I'm just going to leave it as it is, the default, which is the United States, and I'm going to continue. So yes, the next one is this is going to try to choose, the DevOps organization name for me. But if you have, your company's name in mind, that's what you need to put in there. You can also still edit the organization name after you have been signing, to the DevOps portal. But I'm just going to say DevOps NG. I hope this exists, but this is what I'm going to choose now. Then the next question is where do you want your project to be in the verification stage where I need to put in this code. I hope I get this. Let's see. Oh, hope I don't fail this verification again. Yeah. Now this has been verified and it's taking me to the Azure DevOps portal now. So I can go ahead and create my project name now. This project name, I won't get so much in the sense that I cannot set some attribute or parameters when setting up this project name. So, but we'll take a look at how we can actually edit these or create a new project in our next video. So the project name now, I'm just going to give it, let's say, the same name I've used in creating my first project, my organization. Say DevOps. Let me just add project, and now this is saying the visibility. Do you want this to be like a public project or a private project? By default, I choose the public visibility when creating my project, from this blade. I need to at least edit the policies to be able to do that. So by default, you'll be given, you only have the right or the opportunity to create a private project. So I'll go ahead to create this project. And yes, voila, we have our organization created and our first project created now. So today we are not talking about the project, we're talking about organization. So let's head back to the organization level and see how we can manage this organization. So now the first thing you need to take a look at is the URL. Now this is my organization URL. The next time I want to sign into this organization, I do not just need to put in the dev.azure.com. I will put in the organization name at the back of that URL. So it's going to be dev.azure.com/devopsng. So let's take a look at some of the things we can actually manage. The first thing on the organization settings is the overview. On the overview, you can see the name of our DevOps organization. Here, we can still change the DevOps organization name, and this will automatically change the URL also. Now, we can add a privacy URL if there is need for that. Then the description, you can just copy this and put it in the description. I want to change my time zone. So I can do that from here. Then I can save. This is the organization owner as of now. Now I can change this organization owner, but currently I have only one user, in this my organization, which is the only user I've used in creating this organization. I can still go ahead to delete this organization. At the end of this, I delete this organization. So that's that about the organization overview. So you can see this is going to list the projects that we have currently. But like I've actually said, there's a little you can do when you're creating your first project while creating your organization. So little in the sense that some of the things you cannot change some of the default parameters that had been given to you. Like the process, I do not want the basic. I want maybe the Scrum, or any other process. But by default, you will notice that we were not presented, with that options. Also the visibility, So this is the so I'm just going to go back. Then the next one, so we can create a new project from here, which we'll be doing in the next class. You can see now that we have been presented with, an advanced slide where we can actually change what version control we're using, what work item, what work item type you will want to at least use for this our project. That's not for today. Then we have the users. Like I said, we have only one users created now. When you create your Azure DevOps organization, you'll be assigned or you'll be given 5 basic access level. So there are different other access level when we talk about the basic plus test plan, the stakeholder, which will be assigned automatically to all other users, coming in. And so you can decide, what access level you want to give to each of these users. Now, there are two ways of adding users there. If I have like an enter ID or let's say Azure AD connected to this my DevOps organization, then I can start, putting the name of the users or the service principal, which is the application I want to add to this. Again, if the user doesn't exist in my enter ID, I can put in the full name or the full email address. Let's see. So this guy is saying do not recognize this user, but I can invite this user, to this organization. It's either I invite this user to the organization, or I want to invite this user to a specific project. So I can click on the project, or if I have more than one project, I can click on add all, and the user will automatically be added to all the projects in my organization. So I'm not adding any users now. So we have the billing section, which I've actually explained that at least when you create your Azure DevOps organization, you have 5 users, that will be assigned the basic free. So we have another, which is the test plan. You have everything in the basic plus access to test plans. You know, aside that, we have what we call the Microsoft hosted CI/CD pipeline agent. So this agent, we'll start talking about when we start talking about running pipelines. Pipelines are actually being run, by an agent, and this is the agent. The agent that has been assigned automatically for us have, up to 1,800 minutes, of work time. Once we have exhausted these 1,800, then we need to wait till the next month. We have access to also create what we call a self-hosted CI/CD pipeline, CI/CD agent, which will be doing that. I think before we even start creating our pipelines, we'll create our self-hosted CI/CD agent. Now you can see we have what we call the parallel jobs. What are parallel jobs? So if you want to run, 2 jobs at the same time, um, within your pipeline. So you need to get what we call a parallel job. So sometimes you might have a notification saying you do not have access to run a parallel job on this pipeline. So you need to purchase an extra parallel job, to be able to do that. So I'm going to show you guys when we get to the pipelines, how we can actually create a parallel job. All this you can see here are actually related to private project. But for public project, you have more than one self-hosted machine that you can create. You have you can run parallel jobs, So I think we'll still take a look at that when we get to agent pool. Then you have the global notification. This is just talking about notification that had been sent based on actions or events going on in the organization. So when a build is complete, when a pull request is reviewed or added, something like that. So then we have a usage. Yeah. So this is just tracking, whatever we are doing in the DevOps organization. I'm not just going to explain everything though. This is where we'll connect our Azure AD, or let me say the Enter ID policies. If you want SSH authentication, if you want to allow public project. So now, if I turn this on, you will notice that if I try to create a new project after this time, I will get access to choose the public project. So I have a user policies where you can actually invite, if you want to invite, a GitHub user to collaborate with you on this project. So I'm just going to skip most of this thing because I have a video that I've actually created for this purpose already. You can take a look at the video. I'm going to attach the video link to this video also. So let me just quickly talk about, the agent pool. No, sorry, the parallel jobs. Then we can just call it a day. Now, when I was talking about the billing side, on the billing side, I told you guys that those stuffs you can see there are actually related to the private project. Yes. Now we have the public project where you have a Microsoft hosted, you know, a Microsoft hosted agent also that you can use in running your job. Then you have access to create your unlimited self-hosted, parallel job. So like I said, you can add up to that my video. Check, because I've actually explained everything here, um, based on the organization settings that you can see here, and that will give you more insight to what you can see here. So let's let me I'm going to try to create a new project now, and you can see what I was talking about, that at least you know I've enabled that part where you can actually choose your project feasibility to be in public. So if I try to create a new project now I can click on the public now, and I can also at least select what version control and the work ID process that I want. So because I do not have this project assigned or attached to any enter ID, I do not want it to just be here. I want to just delete. Okay, I think we can keep it for the next so that we can use these to create our project. So um, the the last thing I would like to talk about is the fact that you can actually change the organization owner. So if at the end of the day I add another user, and this organization owner that, or the person that have created the GitHub and the Azure DevOps organization, have left the organization or is about to leave, so we can change this to someone that is present in a complaint. You know, Also, let's say the organization owner left and we do not have access to this particular organization, then what we can do, that's only when we have actually attached this to our enter ID, or let's say an Azure AD, where we'll need to assign the Azure DevOps administrator to the new user that we want to make an owner. And that user can actually take over this organization. Then the deletion, I'm not going to delete this. I'm just going to take you to, same as the organization. Now you search for the organization now. Then for the deletion, all you need to do is to click on the delete, and you need to at least confirm by putting in this organization name. Then from there, you can go ahead to delete. All right. If you have any question, you can drop your question below this video, and I would answer all those questions. See you in the next video.